we just had our lunch. Very rough. Hello Magari, hello world. This is Attorney Angel and I'm your legal angel. Hi my fellow angels. It's been a long time since we last saw each other virtually. So, for the past few weeks, first of all, I hope that you are all doing well, my fellow angels. And I still pray the same prayer that everything will get better soon so that we could go back to our daily routine for the better normal. Okay? With that being said, also I'd like to thank all of you because now we have reached 550 subscribers. Yay! Thank you to everyone and thank you, Lord. So, we're almost halfway. We're halfway, more than halfway by 50 to the next goal, which is to reach 1,000 subscribers. So, thank you very much for liking, subscribing, sharing, and following. And for those who have not yet subscribed, liked, shared, and follow, please like, subscribe, share, and follow as well. And also, please help me to our goal on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so I hope that we can reach that goal, and when we reach that goal, I think we would be able to help more people. Okay, and again, thank you very much. And as I was saying, for the past month, we've been devoted to learning. Still now on learning. For this week's vlog, I would like to share with you an audio recording which I gave my class last year, my class in legal writing, which is about decision writing, specifically from the article written by Justice Hugo Gutierrez on decision writing. So I hope this will help our law students and our aspiring lawyers and those who dream to become members of the judiciary someday. So I hope you enjoy listening and I hope you learn something from this audio recording. Thank you very much. Hello and good morning to everyone. This is Attorney Angel for our asynchronous class for today in legal writing. Now for today, I will be sharing with you lessons regarding decision writing based on the work of Justice Hugo Gutierrez entitled Writing of Decisions and Resolutions, which was published in the Journal of the Philippine Judicial Academy. Now this will be your guide for your final output, which is equivalent to your final exams in legal writing, based on a film that I will be assigning to you. And I hope by the end of my audio recordings, I'll be able to remember and give you the film that you should watch and from which you will base your decision writing. Now, without further ado, let's start. So one of the first things that you must learn or that you must know is the meaning of a decision. In People versus Gagi, decided on January 24, 1962, the Supreme Court gave us the meaning of a decision. It held that a decision goes into the roots of the controversy, makes a searching examination of the facts and issues in the case, applies the law, and considers the evidence presented, and finally determines the rights of the parties. So if you will examine closely the meaning of a decision as given by the Supreme Court, there are 5 important elements, or should we say 5 important steps in decision writing or in making a decision. Now, 1 is going into the roots of the controversy. Next is search or examination of the facts and issues of the case. Another one is application of the law. And 4th, you have consideration of the evidence presented. And 5, finally, determination of the rights of the parties. Now, Justice Hugo Gutierrez also said that in writing a decision, it is advisable that you have a good checklist of what should appear in your decision. This is a way of organizing your decision or your outline for your decision writing. Of course, you have to review it so that you can ensure if it is already sufficient and if anything should be added to your decision. And also, in making your checklist and in organizing your outline, you have to know the parts of the decision. And according to Justice Gutierrez, there are 6 main parts: the caption and the case number, the nature of the action, the facts of the case, the issues raised by the parties, resolution of the issues, and the dispositive portion. Again, so we have 1, caption and case number; 2, nature of the action; 3, facts of the case; 4, issues raised by the parties; 5, resolution of the issues; and 6, dispositive portion. Now, I know you noticed that this is similar to our business format in our case digest, only that our case digest is a summary, it's a brief. So you have a limitation on the number of pages and the number of words in which you have to summarize or brief your case. But in decision writing, that is not an issue, because what you should focus on is being able to give a clear, concise, and complete decision based on the facts, the issues, as well as the application of the law or jurisprudence in your decision writing. And of course, finally, disposing of the rights of the parties. Moving on to some important reminders, lessons, tips, and pieces of advice in decision writing from Justice Hugo Gutierrez. Let's start off with the statement of the facts of the case and the application of law to those facts. So, according to Justice Gutierrez, you have to develop a system of summarizing and presenting facts. Okay, and in doing so, this summarizing and presenting of facts or presentation of facts should be truthful and objective, and it should not contradict your conclusions and the dispositive portion. So, meaning to say, your facts, your conclusions, and dispositive portion should be in harmony, and it should not be on opposite poles. Okay? Not contradictory. So, in being able to arrive at a harmonization of your facts and your conclusions and the dispositive portion, he said that number 1, you have to get the facts straight and be faithful to the facts. Number 2, you have to determine the persons or the parties involved and their respective roles or their involvement in the case. Maybe also their standing and their participation therein. Number 3 is also, he also said that you have to determine what these persons or parties involved did or said, what they did or what they said. Okay? You can get many things from what these parties did and what they said. Okay? And number 4, do not assume facts not in the record. Always refer to the facts on record. And in connection with number 4, avoid facts that cannot be inferred from the facts on the record. Okay, again, going back to the facts on the record. Okay, and the facts which can be inferred from the facts on the record. Next, as to the testimony and the witnesses, as well as the different pieces of evidence or exhibits presented in relation to the case, you have to adopt a repertorial method, meaning to say, you have to briefly state what each witness stated or their testimony and what each evidence or piece of evidence or exhibit is intended to show, or the purpose, or what is the use of these pieces of evidence or these exhibits, what they are offered for in relation to the case. And he said that this will make your decision voluminous, but that's not really important, even if it will make your decision voluminous, because what is important is you have to make your decision as accurate as possible. And all of these, making the decision voluminous, these are all useful to your decision writing. Okay. As to the summarizing method, according to Justice Gutierrez, you should prepare your own statement of facts. And how can you do this? You can prepare your own statement of facts from the testimony and other pieces of evidence presented, offered, and which are in connection with the case. Then after which, you organize it and then you write. Okay? Again, his emphasis is on writing in an organized form, and that it should be thorough while at the same time concise. And this requires talent and effort on the part of the judge, and in this case, on the part of you as the writer of the decision. And as in connection with what he said, that it should be thorough while at the same time concise, this is what I always tell you, what I compare with these words, that your writing should always be long enough to be interesting, short enough to cover everything. Okay? And to quote from Justice Hugo Gutierrez, he said, "Transmission of ideas from formulation in the mind to placing them in written form is hampered by failure to improve communication skills." So this is where our basic lessons on subject-verb agreement and other grammar rules and plain English for lawyers will come in to play. So you will have to use your grammatical rules, your spelling, your prepositions, your other rules on subject-verb agreement, etc. Everything that we have studied prior to the midterms, as well as using plain English for lawyers, because all of these are part of your communication skills, and on this particular task, your written communication skills. Okay, to continue with our audio recordings for today, this will be the third and last part of this audio recording. Now we move on to the application of the law and precedents to the facts. Justice Gutierrez advised that you should be able to answer important arguments of the parties to the case, and you must be able to discuss in detail the side of the parties in the case. And when you start writing your decision, you must have already made up your mind on who will win the case. And this is not made during the writing proper, or that he said you do not discover the winner of the case while writing the decision. Okay? Remember that. As to the dispositive portion, or the folio, which is very important, although it is the last part of the case. Okay? You have to prepare a good dispositive portion. And preparing a good dispositive portion means that you must have reviewed the decision itself and the prayers of the parties in the pleadings. Okay? So you will avoid a dispositive portion which is not in harmony with your facts, your issues, and conclusion. Okay? Also, he said, you have to avoid an order or giving an order that cannot be enforced. Okay? Also, if the parties would be able to apply for a motion for clarification, then it is a signal, or it is red flag to the judge, meaning to say in real life it will be unsettling for the judge because somehow it will mean that the decision is insufficient. Okay, so Justice Gutierrez reminds us, he advises us that in decision writing, you have to put an end to the controversy. The decision proper should put an end to the controversy. Okay? So what does that mean? It means that the matter in issue or the issues in the case should be disposed of in a manner that enables the parties to determine with reasonable certainty the extent to which their rights and obligations are resolved. Okay? Again, issues should be disposed of in a manner that enables the parties to determine with reasonable certainty the extent to which their rights and obligations are resolved. Okay? Of course, being the judge, there should always be fairness and objectivity. Okay? And you must not lose track of the philosophy involved and what the correct result should be. Okay? Avoid partiality, avoid being biased, and most importantly, avoid any deliberate error or mistake. Okay? Now here, you can adopt your own writing style. Okay? But even as you adopt your own writing style and use your own pattern, because you can do that, although we have your guide, your template, as much as possible, be consistent with your style and with your observation and application of our grammatical rules, as we have said earlier. And remember that writing of good decisions is a work of art. Yan. And I quote that from Justice Hugo Gutierrez. Writing of good decisions is a work of art. And another one, which is a very good tip from him, you should also enjoy reading your own decision and taking pride in it. Yeah, this is true. Because if you don't enjoy, if you don't enjoy, or if you don't appreciate, or if you don't understand what your decision is or what you wrote, how can you take pride in it? Okay, so you have to understand, you have to appreciate, you have to enjoy reading your own decision because it's a work of art, it's a work from your heart. Okay, you studied, you exerted effort, you should take pride in it, of course, as a necessary consequence. Of course, you can do a little editorializing, or in his words, use of quotable or newspaperable pontificating. Okay, that's very deep. Okay, if you know how to do it. Okay, but if not, it's okay, because as we said, the trend is plain English for lawyers. Okay, so other additional points to consider according to Justice Gutierrez. Okay. This is in connection with developing your issue spotting skills. Okay, so be able to isolate the main issue of the case. Avoid being unnecessarily engrossed in side or minor issues, because as we said, there may be many issues in one case. You have to stick to the main issue, especially if the subject wants you to emphasize on the issue which is related to your subject. Okay, or the subject being taken by the student, okay, in our case. Now also, be aware of pitfalls in factual presentations and problems in sifting through the mass of testimony and exhibits. Of course, not all of the exhibits or pieces of evidence and the testimony of the witnesses would be used, but most of them will be very helpful and useful to decision writing. But you have to be able to know how to filter and screen the relevant from the irrelevant. Okay? Another is, always use the latest pronouncements. Okay? Not a law or regulation already repealed or amended, and not a decision already revised or modified. Accuracy in citing a statute or decision is essential. Now here, your legal research skills would come into play. Okay? Avoid outdated laws and regulations, outdated jurisprudence or case law. You have to be as updated as possible. You have to keep abreast of the latest issuances, latest laws, regulations, and latest decisions and pronouncements of the Supreme Court. Okay. And here, which is related to our subject, legal writing, Justice Hugo Gutierrez also gives us points to consider, such as attention to form and style. Okay, he said attention to form and style is very important. Now, this also has to take into consideration the format. Okay, so I recommend that you search for actual decisions, so you can familiarize yourselves with the format and how it looks, okay, how it appears in actual practice. Another is careful preparation and organization are necessary. Of course, you have to prepare, you have to organize, you have to make an outline, you have to have a system. Okay. Next, need for coherent and logical presentation. Of course, that is why there is a guide for you as to the parts and as to making your outline and organizing your writing. Okay. Need for clarity, as we have already discussed in the principles of good writing. Now, also, edit your own work. Edit your own work, edit your own work, review, revise, review, revise, review, revise. Okay? Need for sincerity. Of course, you have to have sincerity. Sincerity, it also goes with truthfulness, objectivity, empathy, and that your work is a work of art and a work of the heart. Okay? Need for correct use of citations. Again, if you use an idea or any source which is not of your own, please cite. Please cite, please cite. Okay? We do not want to be accused of plagiarism or intellectual dishonesty, or even be accused of copyright infringement, etc. So it's better to cite than be sorry. And of course, in connection with our lessons on subject verb agreement, again, we go back to our grammatical rules and plain English for lawyers, etc., etc., etc. The need for correct English. Okay? A need for correct English. You don't have to be a person who is fond of using highfalutin words. Our trend is to make it as simple as possible, yet understandable, complete, concise, and very, very clear for everyone. Not just for you, the decision writer, the judge, but more so for the ordinary people reading your work or reading your decision. Alright? So, as a last word, as according to Justice Hugo Gutierrez, what is essential to quality and quantity? You uphold the rule of law. Uphold the integrity, objectivity, and independence of the judiciary. So this will be your mindset when you do your decision writing for this subject as your final output. Okay? And the movie that I am assigning to you is 12 Angry Men. Again, the title of the movie is 12 Angry Men. It's an old movie. It's in black and white. Okay? Okay. So that's it for our asynchronous class for today. And thank you for listening to this audio recording. The prayer is still the same for this pandemic to end so that we can meet everyone face to face and we can move on with our lives. Okay? With a better normal. Not just the new normal, but the better normal. Okay? Always be kind, be a blessing to others, and glorify God with a grateful heart. This is Attorney Angel. Thank you very much. That's it for this week's vlog. And I hope you tune in for our next vlog. Maybe on learning, or maybe we can do living and loving. Okay, so if you have comments and suggestions, please do not hesitate to leave your comments below. And also, no haters here, only positive vibes. Okay, be kind, be generous, be a blessing to others, and always remember to glorify God with a grateful heart. This is Attorney Angel, and I'm your legal angel. Thank you very much. Borahe!